Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. I am so excited to guide you through today's fascinating topic. We're looking at a classic piece of city history that's literally vanishing right before our eyes. Now, for those of you studying for your B2 Cambridge FCE exam, this is going to be a fantastic opportunity to practice your listening comprehension. I'll be reading our source text clearly at a moderate pace, just like a documentary, and along the way we'll break down some key vocabulary to really elevate your understanding. All right, let's get started. Think about the last time you saw a public telephone. Section 1, Welcome to the Debate. The disappearing payphones. Okay, let's dive right into this. Picture the bustling, crowded sidewalks of a modern city. You know, the noise, the people moving quickly past you. In the middle of all that, standing quietly, is a piece of technology from a completely different era. Let's read our first section together. In New York City, public payphones used to be everywhere. You could find one on almost every street corner. However, things are changing quickly. In the coming months, the city will remove all the remaining phones. Let's pause right there for a second. I want you to look closely at that last sentence and listen to this word, remaining. Remaining. This simply means still existing or present. You know, when we talk about the phones that are left over after all the others have been taken away, we call them the remaining phones. In Chinese, you would say 剩下的, 剩下的, remaining. All right, let's move to our next section and see how this story builds. Section 2, the sidewalk space issue, making room for pedestrians. So we know those remaining phones are being removed, but the big question is, why? Let's take a look at the perspective of the city officials who actually have to manage these incredibly busy streets. Why are they doing this? City officials explain that these old phone booths take up much-needed space on the sidewalks. Removing them is definitely a win for pedestrians who have to navigate crowded city blocks every day. Now, what's really interesting here is the vocabulary used to describe the people on the street. Pedestrians. Pedestrians. A pedestrian is simply a person walking along a road or in a developed area, rather than traveling in a vehicle. In Mandarin, we call pedestrians 行人, 行人. So if you're walking on the sidewalk, you are a pedestrian. And what exactly do these pedestrians have to do? Well, they have to navigate. Navigate. This means to find a way through or over an area. Imagine trying to walk down a packed New York street. You have to carefully step around people and objects, right? You are navigating the block. In Chinese, this action of making your way through is 穿梭, 穿梭, navigate. Section 3, the smartphone shift, a changing technological landscape. So, physical space is definitely one big reason for the removal of these payphones, but there's an even bigger shift happening globally, and it has to do with the devices sitting right in our pockets. Let's continue our reading. Honestly, most younger people will not even notice that the phones are gone. Today, nobody wants to scramble for coins just to make a quick call. Because almost everyone has a smartphone, this old technology is simply no longer needed. Listen carefully to this action verb here, scramble. Scramble. In this context, to scramble means to move quickly or struggle to get something. Think about urgently digging into your pockets or the bottom of your bag, desperately searching for small change just to use the public phone. You're scrambling for coins. In Chinese, you might express this anxious, hurried search as 匆忙寻找, 匆忙寻找, scramble. And this brilliantly illustrates the massive gap between the past and the present. On one side, we have the old technology, scrambling for coins, just hoping the public phone actually works. And on the other side, the modern solution, reaching comfortably into your pocket for a sleek smartphone. It really puts the word scramble into perfect context, doesn't it? Section 4, Safety and Quality Issues. Listening to local residents. Of course, it isn't just about the convenience of cell phones. When we look at this from the perspective of the people who actually live in these neighborhoods, a totally different picture emerges. Let's read what the locals have to say. Furthermore, the city continues to receive complaints from local residents about these booths. They say the broken phones present an issue for public safety and lower the overall quality of life in the neighborhood. So the crucial point here is twofold. The residents aren't just saying the phones are useless, they're actively complaining that they are a negative presence. First, broken booths present an issue for public safety. And second, they lower the overall quality of life. That's a really strong argument from the community itself. Let's see what the city proposes to do with the cleared space.
By taking them away, the empty sidewalk space could better serve families with baby strollers and people in wheelchairs.
Let's highlight one final vocabulary word from this sentence: strollers. Strollers. These are the small chairs on wheels used to push babies and toddlers around safely. In Mandarin, we call them ying-er-che. Without large, broken payphones in the way, the sidewalk is instantly more accessible for strollers and wheelchairs.
Section 5. Your turn to speak. What do you think? We've seen the arguments from city officials managing sidewalk space and from local residents worried about safety and quality of life. We've also practiced some excellent B2 level vocabulary: remaining, pedestrians, navigate, scramble, and strollers. Now, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to turn the focus over to you. Let's read our final thought. What do you think? Are there any old technologies in your city that we should remove? Seriously, take a look around your own neighborhoods. Is there something standing on your street corner right now, slowly gathering dust, that truly belongs in a museum? Thank you so much for exploring this topic with me, and keep practicing those new words.